Okay. So, okay. So how much you are good in JavaScript?
JavaScript. I haven't written the code in JavaScript
Okay.
because I'm Angular. I'm mostly written in TypeScript, but I know
Hmm.
some JavaScript concepts also have prepared.
Okay. So basically what happens, so as a front-end developer, everything comes with a JavaScript. Okay. So whatever Angular JS, React JS, Vue.js, whatever JS we write, so it get transcompiled into JavaScript only. So every interviewer will expect you know everything related to JavaScript. That is why I'm asking you. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So okay. And what version you are working right now in Angular?
10 Angular 10.
Okay. And what is the latest version right now?
Latest version was Angular 14. I think it was released on 2022
Mm-hmm.
November. I think November or
Okay.
February something. 14
Okay.
Angular 14 latest. It was quite slow. I've seen it.
Okay. Did you try that?
Yeah. No, one of my colleagues, one of my office mate
Mm-hmm.
teammate, was first he was worked in my project. Later he was shifted to other project. She was working on Angular 14. So I
Okay.
have seen it. So she
Okay.
meant we have discussed those two things, and
Mm.
she told that Angular 14 was quite slow compared to 12,
Okay.
compared to 10 and 12.
Okay. So read about that as well because sometimes
Sure,
what's
sure.
happened, so interviewer will suggest what is the latest version and why you are working on that version. So what is the new feature comes with the Angular 14. Okay,
Okay.
so they can try to expect that as well. So you can read about this also. Okay, so do you want me to start with JavaScript first or Angular first?
You can start with JavaScript.
Okay, okay. Okay. So we will start with first. Okay. So what are the data types we have in JavaScript?
JavaScript. Actually, primitive data types which contains normal like string, boolean, and int float.
Okay. Non-primitive.
And there are some non-primitive. We can say, you know, null is also one type of an data type. Undefined is also one type of data type. And arrays
Mm-hmm.
arrays is also one type of a data type only, because arrays is a collection of all the primitive data types, right?
Mm-hmm.
And object.
Okay. So what do you mean with primitive and non-primitive?
Okay, primitive means these are all standard. We can say values related to the values only. Primitive. So, for example, number,
Mm-hmm.
string, boolean. These are all related to values only. Whenever you have created a variable by using primitive data types, the
Mm-hmm.
memory will be allocated. Memory will be allocated.
Okay. So same thing happened with the array as well. Na? So memory also be allocated over there as well, right?
But array is a collection of all the primitive data types, right?
Hmm.
For example, array contains, array of type number will be there, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is also type of an array only. And
Okay.
there is another type of array which contains strings also.
Okay.
Array, a collection of strings which can say we can collect as an also this one. It is also type of an array only. Basically, array is something we can iterable. We can traverse through the array. Array contains primitive data types, we can say, collection of primitive data types.
Yes. Okay, no problem. So basically what happens, so primitive means nothing but Tharuns, correct? And if you
Yeah.
change that name equal to UI dev guide, so the whatever current value over there, it get replaced with the previous one, correct? So it
Yeah,
has only
sure.
single memory location. So it can be vanished the previous value as a primitive. And non-primitive is having you might heard about the pointers in C, C++. Pointer has a reference of it, and we can
Yes,
have
yes,
that linked list and call. So such kind of things over here as a non-primitive. So you can change the values, but the reference it got not changed because you have allocated memory location at 100 and you are created that array and you change the index of 1. So 103 you change something. So the 100 will not change. Correct. So you are changing
mm,
the index of it. So
yes.
kind of thing.
It still points to that same location only.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That is why I was asking. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now simple question. What is undefined and none?
So undefined and null. So undefined means if, for example, you have created an variable var
Hmm,
a.
hmm,
So if you try to print that var a, it
hmm.
prints it prints the undefined. Undefined means it doesn't have any value in it.
Okay. And why only undefined? Why not
Indeed.
null or blank or any kind of thing over there? Why?
Null is an you have put something inside the a var a equals to null. If you try to print console, it
Hmm,
prints null. So
hmm.
null is a kind of one value where
Correct.
undefined is nothing is present.
Okay, okay. So now question is, suppose I create var name, okay, and semicolon. So you said that it will be having undefined value because we have not assigned any value over there, correct?
Yes.
So the question is why it is undefined only? Why not null, blank, or any kind of different thing? So do you know why the undefined get mapped that name variable?
So might be if you have declared a variable and you haven't assigned any value in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Hmm. Okay.
so
There is a one
you
concept
haven't
of wasting.
defined.
No, no.
uh,
There is a one concept of wasting. Do you know about it?
yes. Yeah, hosting whatever you write whatever write below or above, it will comes to the above like uh, all the data types which are related to where will be hosted at the starting, which
Okay.
comes a friend
Okay.
like that.
And what value would be it assigned to it then?
I know the hosting that concept only. I don't know why it considered undefined only.
ओके सो मैं बताता हूँ ओके क्या होता है ना देखो तुम्हारे पास अभी ओके सो यू हैव दैट वेरिएबल ओके कैन यू शेयर योर स्क्रीन सो आई कैन टेल यू दैट
Okay.
we have two phases in javascript okay memory allocation and execution code execution okay so memory
Host.
hoisting so
Okay.
I'm noting down these questions for you so you can prepare for
Okay.
no. Okay. So I will tell you just in the short. So what happens? So whenever you create a variable with a var at any line number of code in the function or in your file, so at the time of the memory allocation, what hoisting does for us, so whatever variable you have, it make as a available as a top. Okay, so it will move to the top, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
But another
Yeah.
thing, so if you try to access that variable before its declaration, you will get an error in C, C++, then whatever the traditional language we use earlier. So you cannot access the variable before its declaration, correct? So in this
Yes.
case, you are able to access that. Suppose you created that variable at you have not shared that is why I cannot tell you more. So now
Actually, when I trying to share the screen, it is showing host is disabled screen sharing.
wait. Can you request me?
Okay.
You can request me, I think. Now try.
One second. One second. I will try it again. Ah, yes.
Yeah, okay. Now now open
Sharing.
JS Fiddle. JS Fiddle, yeah. Okay. Okay. Enter. Now do one thing. No, no, no. In JavaScript, not in HTML. Put console.log name. Okay. Okay. And now tell me what will be the error over here now. अभी क्या आंसर आएंगे मतलब कंसोल में क्या प्रिंट करेगा
declaration not found, like error ही
करेक्ट
आएगा.
यस करेक्ट ओके अभी लाइन नंबर 2 पे नेम इक्वल टू तरुण असाइन कर दो उसको
Actually, it's my old computer, so it takes
ओके
time.
ओके ओके नो प्रॉब्लम ओके नाउ वेट नाउ टेल मी व्हाट विल बी द आउटपुट ऑफ नाउ
It will be, I think, Tarun.
run that there is the option left top run option run okay and the right bottom you have console.log white screen उसको हाइड कर दो हाँ उसको ओपन करो it is printing name it is printing result something so actually now it should be undefined okay so you get undefined now so these things happens when you access a variable before the declaration so same thing if you try
Okay.
to in C++ old technologies now you will get that error because your variable is not available at line number 1 okay so this is the
Yes.
hoisting you can read about this hoisting
Okay.
okay
Yeah.
okay so we'll move to the
If we
next
change it to if we change it, let this where it will, then also it will give error, right? Right now.
yes correct
Hmm.
so now tell me what is different between late and normal
Yeah. Where is a global scope, we can say. So all the data types which we declared with where it will get hosted, as you said, and let is a kind of
block
local
scope
scope, we can say.
block scope
Block scope, yeah, block scope. Because the main difference between where and let, if you if you declare if you declare a variable with where and you are trying to access it before it definition or declaration, it print undefined. But if you try to do with the same, and if you try to do with the let, and you are trying to access it before its declaration and definition, then it will give error there.
yes correct any other difference do you know about it why it will give an error if you try to access before it
Why means
because it is not going to hoist in the global
yeah,
context do you know about
yeah,
temporal
it
dead zone
is. Yeah, temporal dead zone. Temporal dead zone is the one, if you are without declaring the value and you are trying to print it, there it is comes that
no
temporal dead zone.
no it is related to the your block scoping or latent concept okay so I'm noting down this question as well
Okay.
okay so tell me now what is the ES6 features do you know
Yes, X feature. Arrow function.
any other
Arrow function, and also yes, X features, right? Arrow function.
we have spread operator, rest
Spread
operator,
operator,
and
rest operator, object
destructuring,
literal
of
destructuring,
yeah, then you have that array methods like filter, reduce,
map.
yeah, map. Then we have op operator, in operators. Now tell me, what is the difference between arrow function and normal function?
So arrow function basically it is like an without definition. See normal function you can write the syntax is like function and you have written the name and brackets and you should write the block like this. But arrow functions comes with an uh, you know brackets and there will be a fat arrow like this.
Okay, this is kind of the syntactical difference, correct?
Yes, yes.
Any other difference do you know?
Any other difference? So both are functions
Hmm?
only, but
No, we have too many differences in the field. So, have you heard about this inside JavaScript?
yeah, this operator, right, it refers to the current object.
Okay, so can we use this inside an arrow function? Okay, another one.
I don't know.
So,
Hmm.
okay, so normal function we have arguments object.
Yes, yes.
So, in arrow function we don't have that. So, how can we get all the arguments into the single parameter? Do you know?
All the parameters in a single object. So normally in arrow function also we can pass these objects, right?
Uh, or is it is related to rest operator? Okay. Yeah, you mentioning something. Me, what would be the output it will come? So I'm testing in the chat. You can open chat member
Okay.
in the chat. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So we have two console.log here, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So what it will print? What do you think?
For the second it will print 0.
Okay. And first one?
For first one it will print 1010.
Okay. And why 1010 and 0?
So plus operator will concat whatever it is after the plus directly into the current one.
Okay. And second one?
Second one is directly minusing it, subtracting the value from the both.
But we don't have value as a number. We have as a string. So,
Yes.
so how that can be? Answer is correct. Okay. Answer is correct, but
Yeah.
I want explanation. Why? Means why I'm asking this. So you will know the concept in the depth. That is why I'm asking you why.
Yeah, got it. Actually, when
Okay.
I'm preparing this, okay, this will work like this will work like that.
No,
Yeah,
no.
what you mentioned is right only.
Yeah, yeah.
Need to
I
know
will
the
tell you
concept.
now. Okay, so you might know about the unary operators. So plus, minus are these are the unary operators. So whenever you use a minus, okay, and whatever string you have, it get automatically converted to number as a unary operator.
Okay,
So that is why you are getting zero in the second console. And plus is behave as a concat in the JavaScript.
concat.
So whenever
Yes.
strings comes with a number, every time it gets string.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the one. Okay. Have you heard about event loop, call stack?
No, event loop.
Okay.
No, event,
So
I know event, like whenever click on any
ना
button,
ना
it
ना
will,
वो नहीं वो नहीं वो नहीं
okay.
event loop is the heart of JavaScript. Who checks the what things need to run, how, when, that. So it's a
Okay.
very basic question now. So is JavaScript synchronous or asynchronous?
Synchronous only.
Okay. And how can we make it as a asynchronous?
By using promise or by using async await.
Okay.
Sometimes we can use callbacks also.
Okay. So what is the problem with callback?
So callbacks normally, if you have declared some functions, you have declared some functions, you are calling all these functions line by line, but you want to execute, first function will take 3 seconds and the second function will take 2 seconds and the third function will take 1 second to give the response or to complete the action. But
Hmm.
what you need is, you need to execute the function one first, then two, then three. But if you try to do with normal JavaScript, na, it
Hmm.
will print, it will complete the function which will have the smallest time to execute. And like in our example, function one will take only 1 seconds to complete. So it will complete first 1 second function will first complete, then function two, then function three. In order to uh, in order to in order to complete those functions according to our plan, we use to callbacks like
Okay.
I
Do
think,
you know about callback hills?
yeah, callback helps, I know.
Okay. Okay. So this is the callback hill is the problem with callback. So that was I was expecting. No problem.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
a callback helps, you can't you can't write functions all over it, inside. Yeah,
Pyramid kind of things it will create.
pyramid
Okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So to override that, what we have to use?
We can use promise.
Okay. What are the states of promise?
Promise, pending, resolve, and reject. When you have
Okay.
written a promise, when you have declared a promise and you have written anything inside, like resolve or reject, then it will be in a pending state. So after declaring the promise, you have resolved. There is two things: resolve and reject. After
Correct.
passing the values inside into the resolve and reject inside the promise, after some time you have resolved the promise. That means you got whatever you need. Then what you need to do is you can, after calling that promise, put then operator.
Mhm.
You can print if the promise returns result, then it will come to the then operator. If the promise rejects, then it will be an error. We can catch it in catch operator. Then dot catch inside the catch you can handle that error.
Okay. What is promise chaining?
Promise chaining.
Yes.
Like if you need 3 to 4 promise line by line, then what we need to do is promise one dot, then k, then
Correct.
p2 dot, then p3 dot, then p3 dot 4. But if you need all four directly, you can use promise all, and
Mm.
we can send all these promises as an array. So if any promise between p1 to p4 will be rejected between this, then it will be stopped there only.
Yes. Okay. So what are the types of promise?
Promise and promise all only.
We have promise dot race, promise dot settled. Oh, that's well. Okay.
Okay, I have used promise dot all only.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
okay.
It's okay. Okay. So to if I want to make a API call, how can I make API call in JavaScript?
Okay, API call we can use fetch one. Fetch, there is a function called fetch. In fetch, we can send the the API URL which we
Mm,
need.
mm.
Uh,
What it returns?
await it will returns it will return some value.
No, no, no.
Then we
That,
need to
yeah, it will return response, correct? That is the that
response.
no, no. But what kind of response it is? It is directly kind of.
Not a JSON, not a JSON.
I mean to
We need
say,
to
how can we capture that data from the page? Page what it returns.
okay.
Okay, so basically, page returns a promise. So you have to get
Promise.
data.
Yes,
Dot then we have to use, correct? So page return promise.
yes.
Okay. Okay, we'll move to the next question now. Okay. So have you heard about event bubbling and event capturing?
Yes, event bubbling. Event bubbling. I know.
What it is?
So if you like, there are three divs, for example, div one inside div two and div two inside there is a div three which contains the button.
Okay.
So if you have clicked inside this div three which contains the button,
Okay.
that events will keep transfer to the parent element div two, then it will capture to the div one. Like
Okay.
the event will come back to the parent till it is completed.
Okay. That is bubbling. And
Yeah.
capturing is vice versa. So if I want
Okay.
to make it as a stop at some level, so how can we do that?
You can do using by stop propagation,
Okay.
event dot start propagation.
Mhm.
I didn't get the exact property, but stop propagation, or there is also another one also is there.
Yes.
Stop propagator.
Immediate drop. Immediate.
Huh,
That is for
huh.
if you have written same functions for a single element, at that time we have to use stop immediate propagation, something kind of things. You get the things.
Okay.
Okay. Mm, have you heard about shallow copy and deep copy?
Shallow copy and deep copy.
Mm,
Yeah, shallow copy means you copy the values only from
the
one object to another object. But in deep copy, what we'll do is if you change the
no,
if you
both
both
well,
values will be copied only. But if you try to change the object 2 value, it will also change in object 1 value also.
in shallow
Both
or
I
deep.
think in deep it will happen like this, but in shallow it won't happen
No,
because
no, no, no. You are taking vice versa. In the deep,
okay.
you have a separate memory allocation from the previous one. Okay.
Yeah,
In
okay,
the
got it.
shallow, you
Yes,
get
yes.
the references of the previous one. Okay. Now tell me, how can we make a deep copy?
Can we make a deep copy? Object 1 equals to new object.
That is shallow copy. Have you heard about JSON.stringify?
No, JSON not string.
You not heard? No.
No.
Okay. JSON.parse. You have one
No.
JSON object and you want to make a string of that object. So how can you make that?
Actually, JSON is an object. It contains some properties, right? To string,
Mm,
parse.
yeah. The same thing I'm asking. So to make a deep copy, you take a base object. Okay. to make that as a string and assign that value to the another one. So because of the string, you will not have that references to the old one.
Okay.
Did you get it or not?
One sec. No, no, one.
No,
Repeat it again.
wait. You have one object, okay, and you want to
Okay.
copy that object to new one, correct? If you do like that,
Hmm.
new equal to old, so the references get copied to the new one, correct? So if you do changes in the
Yeah.
new one, the old one get changes, automatically reflect the automatic changes. So in the deep copy, we have to do json.stringify. So the object will be string now. Okay. So that
Okay.
string we will assign to your new object and we do json.pass. So in that case, what happen? Your references get not copied because you have made it as a string.
Okay.
You can read about it. The basic question, what is the life cycle hooks for Angular?
Ng on changes, ng on init, ng do check. I think there are two more, and ng after view init, ng after view init changes, and ng destroy. Out of these, I haven't used this ng after view init and ng after view init changes. These two I haven't used.
Okay. And what is the role of constructor in the Angular, that component?
Uh, Constructor will be it is like constructor will be called before all these life cycle hooks will be called. So constructor will be like starting point for the component.
So why it get executed first before Angular?
So,
Do you know?
component is also like in Angular, each component is a class, right? You can send it as a class. As an object oriented programming, constructor will be called whenever you have loaded in any component.
Okay. So what are the things we do in the constructor?
Constructor we can do what we can do uh, at the initial state of the component. We can get the, like, for example, if before this life cycle hooks will be called, if we need to any change in the code, we need to do in the constructor only.
Okay. So how to initialize your service into the component?
Yeah, you will use constructor only. You can pass it as a injection, dependency injection.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we pass all the services at the constructor level. So because at this point only you can initialize the component, right?
Okay. Okay. So if you have one service like user service, okay, so to get a profile and you have added that service in the provider of module file, am.module file, correct? And
Yeah.
you added that same file in component level as well. So how many
Okay.
instances it will create?
It will create singleton. It is a singleton service because you have injected at the root level at the app module, right?
Okay. And what is that
So I
injectable in the service?
root, you have injected at root. Like when you have created a service, there
Uh,
will be particle provided in at the decorator. You
uh,
mentioned it as a root. So if you have write providers at the app module, you have write this user service as a provider there. So this entire instance will be shared across the app. It is a
okay.
singleton service only.
Okay. And what is the another parameter in over there in the injectable apart from root?
Root, then any, I think any, it is
Hmm.
a, it will be like for each module it will create an separate instance for that module only. Matlab, it is kind of a duplicate. It keep on creating
Hmm.
instance for each module
Okay.
loading.
Okay. Okay. To get the data from the service, how you can get that data from the service. Suppose it is returning an observable, okay, from the service.
Okay.
So how you get that data?
So you are asking about the service from backend, right? How you can
No,
call
no,
the
no.
APIs?
Only, yeah, yeah. Suppose you have an API that is returning some data from your service,
Yeah,
from your backend to your service. Now, your service needs to return something to your component. So,
yeah.
what we have to do that?
So you are asking, okay, you are asking service to component interaction. How will you do to get
Yes,
the data,
yes,
right?
yes, yes, correct.
So first you will do the dependency injection at the constructor level,
Okay.
at the constructor. So you will create an instance of that service by using dependency injection. So after that, this dependent, so this service, so it will return observable only.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we will write a some function like this dot currently you consider a service user service. So what
Mm,
we'll do in the constructor like this dot user service dot
wait.
subscribe.
Wait. Only I want subscribe. That's it.
Yeah, subscribe. Yeah, I'm saying the
Because,
process. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
subscribe.
So I was just asking you to get observable data, what you have to do. So we need to do
Actually,
subscribe.
actually there is two types you can do. You can do manual subscribe at the component level, like
Hmm.
right, or you can do you can use async pipe. Async is a impure pipe, right? So
Yes.
we can subscribe at the HTML level only. By
Okay.
using this async pipe, there is no need to write unsubscribe in ng on destroy also.
Correct. Okay. So
Yeah.
my next question was that only. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah. So what is content projection?
Content.
Projection.
Yeah, content projection basically like for example there is a shared component unit. For example, in our project there is a requirement we need a custom expansion panel, right?
Hmm.
uh, so in our project we have used expansion panels very widely. So we have used Angular material, there is an expansion panel, but the requirement is not matched, so we need to write our own expansion panel thing.
Okay.
Okay. So what we did was, custom component. We have created a custom expansion panel. So it is present in a shared folder. So whenever you need, for example, you have at that component, you need this expansion panel, right?
Hmm.
So you directly call this custom expansion panel, which is present in the share service. We return those tags like card content in expansion panel. We write ng content equals to card content,
Okay.
card header, like whatever you are written in the your parent component with the tags div and write card content, and we have written some content there. And we have, if you need to show it in a expansion panel, you write ng content, and we write those card content like that. I think you
Hmm.
get it right what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes, yes, yes. So you have that HTML in your service level and you are passing that as a content projection to your component.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, what is subject and behavioral subject?
Yeah, subject and behavior subject both are observables only. The main difference between subject and behavior subject is a subject doesn't have initial value, where behavior subject we can uh, we can we can give initial value, we can define the initial value what we need to send it in a behavior subject. Like
Okay.
we have
Any other subject do
yeah.
you know apart from both?
There is, I have no, but I didn't get exact. Replay subject is also there, but I
Hmm.
don't know the exact work it will do. Behavior subject, replay subject. I know those two only.
Okay. So in the replace subject, it will have the buffer value. So we will tell that.
Okay,
So keep the previous five values. So five is the buffer format that replace
okay,
subject. So it holds the previous value, whatever buffer size you have provided over there.
okay. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, behavior subject it always emits the latest value.
correct.
Yeah, replace subject will
Yeah.
it takes the
It will,
buffer and
yeah,
yeah.
it will hold something. Okay. So what is the difference between observable and promise?
Observable is a, you can say it is a lazy kind of a thing because
Hmm.
it continuously emits values after sometime. But when it comes to promise, na,
Hmm.
it will execute it at you know you can say one time only. But because
Hmm.
for example, promise mostly used it for API backend services only. When you are calling any backend service, you use promise there only because if you got the response then it is okay, but when it comes to the observable it continuously emits values after some time, after some delay. So
Okay.
after each delay we will pipe this thing and we will do some operation inside the observable.
Okay. Can we change observable to promise?
Observable, yeah, I
Suppose.
think to promise is a one function is there.
Mhm. Okay. Okay.
I don't
So
know exactly, there is a
yeah, yeah,
function called to promise.
correct, correct. That was there. So I'm not sure it is get decrypted or not now, but it was there
Okay,
in the previous versions.
okay.
Okay. Have you heard about the prom event in the RHS?
Each event,
Prom event.
yeah, yeah, form event. Okay, form event. No, no, I haven't.
Okay.
No,
Okay. You can know this maybe. Okay.
sure.
So what is view encapsulation?
Yeah, view encapsulation is a kind. It is somewhat related to the DOM
Hmm.
kind of a thing. For
Hmm.
example, you have a actually there are I didn't remember exactly concept. We can see there is a
Hmm.
uh, shadow DOM also. There is one kind of a concept with this view encapsulation dot none and
Correct.
view encapsulation. Some
Emulated.
default will be there. Yeah.
Emulated. Cognitive.
Yeah, so what happens is basically if you have a uh, if you have a large application and there are number of components is also there,
Hmm.
while declaring the styles of these components by mistakenly you have used same classes, same components, but the styles are different. The
Yeah,
issue
correct.
happens is if you yeah the issue happens if you write to you have loaded this first component with a different style, but you have
Hmm.
loaded another component but the same class name but the style is different.
Correct.
So at that time the style will get conflict. So to avoid that we will use encapsulation dot none or we'll use encapsulation kind of things, but we can avoid this by using host before the s- classes.
But is it recommended to use host or not?
Yeah, we can use it in our project, we are using it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have tried with encapsulation, but uh, I don't know what seniors thought.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked me to write with host only, ng host,
Yeah.
ng host,
Ye-
not full colon host.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is kind of like the
Yeah,
pseudo class kind of thing, double colon symbol.
yeah, double
Okay.
colons.
Yeah. So whenever you create an Android application, okay, so default is emulated over there. Emulated or native, we say. So whenever you see that element, it has some ng underscore ng content something. It has written some random text with it. Okay.
Yeah, id will be
That
there, right? Yes.
correct. So that get mapped with your class as well. So this is how your Angular code knows that. So this element has this ID and this class has this ID means this CSS is related to this only
Yeah,
because you have two components. Okay, but at the end we have a one get one bundle file. Okay,
yeah,
so you are both the classes in the single file now. So because of that, these classes get triggered. So to
Yes.
resolve that, we earlier used that host and all kind of things. So Angular comes with a view encapsulation. So it the CSS will be restricted to your component level. So other CSS will not
Yeah.
affect your CSS. That is why
Yeah.
they
When you inspect, yeah, when you inspect
yeah,
this, you can find that ng content ID will
correct,
be there.
correct,
It
correct.
will add Angular will add manually. Mm.
Mm, yeah. So because of that, you everywhere you will get that. Okay. Okay. So have you know about the auth guards?
Auth guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, auth guards will be used at the router route. So for
Hmm.
example, you have written a path for component, then we can use auth
Correct.
guard.
That is correct. But
Uh,
what is the
yeah,
use of it? Means when we use it.
auth guard will protect our routes from unauthorized access. Like for example,
Hmm.
you are a without logging into the without login, you are trying to access some route.
Okay.
So by using this auth card, we will redirect to the whatever page we need. For example, there is some product after logging into the website, you need to show you need to show your some personal data by using some route. So without
Hmm.
logging it, you are trying to use it by using routing. Then by using this auth card, we will restrict the user, like first come to this page, login, then only you can redirect to
Okay.
that page.
Okay. So it basically we have to because of the auth guard, we are able to check that the user is a registered user or not. So he has authorized or
Yes,
not,
yes.
kind of thing. So we have to use that can active over there in the auth guard. So inside that
Can
method,
activate.
yeah,
Mm,
can active. So inside that we implement our feature over there. What things we have to check so we can make it as a true. So that router dot next dot true we pass from there. So if it
yeah.
is user is corrected, so it is written true. So if it is not, then we can redirect to login page or something. Okay.
Yeah, we
So
can
what is
send snapshots and everything there.
yeah
Yes.
correct yes yeah with the snapshot only we can redirect to it. Okay. So what is
Yeah.
resolve?
What is
Resolve.
resolve?
Yeah. Okay.
Resolve.
Okay, so suppose you have one scenario over there. You want to get a data from service before loading your component.
Okay.
So in that case, we use resolve. Okay, so so suppose you have a dashboard route. Okay, when you click on that
Okay.
route's dashboard before loading your component or constructor, you want some data from the backend, or you want to do something backend at the backend level. It will come something for you. So instead of
Yeah.
calling that API from your service Angular component level from the on init or something, you can directly call that from with the resolve. So you will create one service over there, and that service will be responsible to get the data for your component.
Okay.
And that data you can pass to your component level. So that is resolve. You
Okay.
you
Got
can
you. Yeah.
you can read about this in the depth. And we have multiple can deactivate and all over there in the org. So you can prepare for
Yeah.
those as well. So I'm not
Sure.
asking about the lazy loading, eager loading, because those are the common questions now. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so tell me, we do compound communication with input output with the parent child, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So if I want to make a vice versa communication from child to parent, so we use
Yeah.
output event, correct?
Output.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yes.
if we do change in the child component in the your difference of the whatever input parameter, it is automatically get trigger to the parent as well. The value get changed in the parent as well. Have you tried this?
Mhm. No. It. I think.
See, you have passed your child component name equal to Tarun. Okay, in the
Yeah.
child, you change that value turn to
Yeah.
something your surname now. So
Okay.
each your parent also get change that value because the same reference you are passing to it. You can try this once.
Okay.
It gets reflected. If the object is there, so you are changing some object value, it get changed.
Yeah. We are changing the reference, right? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that is I'm asking. Yeah, okay. So have you heard about Angular library?
Angular library.
Yes, means we will create our own components that get published under npm, like the way we use other third-party components with the help
Yeah.
of the
Got it.
npm. Have
Got it.
you?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, I haven't used it.
okay, okay.
Actually, our client library is there. We do
Uh-huh.
npm install and we
So,
will use it.
yeah, yeah. So that is the library they have created for you guys. So they,
Yeah.
you know that. So we just pass data to it and get output events. So it get automatically work for us.
Yeah. I
So
haven't created manually. I have
yeah,
used it.
yes,
Yeah.
that is what I'm asking. Okay, okay. Okay. I think I have covered the question. I can feel side or giving any interview. Just brush up on JavaScript side. Right
Yeah.
now, why?
Actually, the issue with the JavaScript, right? For me, I haven't. Yeah, I will go to the YouTube and I will see some tutorials and I will okay understand it. But for example, if you are creating an Angular, right, we will do
Mm,
some application.
mm.
So for JavaScript, na, there will be concepts only there. But I don't know how to use those concepts and I can build a project. For
No, no,
example, if
no.
I have
Wait,
learned
wait,
some,
wait.
yeah,
So, as you everywhere you use TypeScript as well, now it comes from the JavaScript only. You use map operator, you use for each operator, you use reduce
yeah,
filter. Everything comes from the JavaScript only. Okay, so you
yeah,
are using JavaScript only. The spread operator, rest operator, that three dot you have written, arrow function you
yeah,
have written, all these things come from the JavaScript. But what I mean to say, when you know the theoretical concept for the thing, you can use that thing with the TypeScript very well. So that is why I'm
okay,
saying you have to learn uh, basics of the JavaScript. So you are using that
yeah,
indirectly. You are
yeah,
using, but you don't know what is the this and why you are using like this. You know
yeah,
that the
yeah,
this we cannot access in the arrow function, but why you don't know.
yeah,
So yeah.
right,
So as an Angular developer, for me as well, I am the Angular developer. So I was did not get chance to work with a plain JavaScript only. But
hmm,
as days pass, you get more work. So you do R&D. So things comes with it. So you have to be learn those things as well. So
okay.
you are indirectly using everything, but you don't know what is this and
Yeah,
all. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
So
Yeah, because after the training, I directly switched to the Angular. I
uh,
have learned Angular directly. There is
yeah.
no JavaScript between.
For me, I started as a support engineer job. Then I came to Angular. So,
Actually, I started my was like development only. I've got the project, so they have given me the skeleton Angular project.
hmm,
So let us start the development. That's it.
yeah, but you got good work.